Peter Kent and Deirdre McMurdy.
Oh, greetings and welcome to the Friday edition of Money Wise.
Now, coming up on today's program, Rack and Roll, Rob Davidson shows off a top-of-the-line billiard table on our Simply the Best segment. And forget about a matching bag and shoes. Mark Saltzman will have all the latest accessories for video gamers. And on our Streetwise segment, the latest in chic, do you know what OPEC stands for? All that and more on this half hour of Money Wise. Billiard tables money can buy, and made right here in Canada. What year was the first coin-operated billiard table patented? The answer, 1903, and the cost of a game, 1 penny.
Well, they didn't put any money in, but it was once the sport of nobility and kings.
Sure, and today, despite the widespread popularity of the pool halls your mother warned you about, billiards can still be a pretty refined pastime with a price tag to match. Here's Rob Davidson with Simply the Best.
Even in their old age, some old billiard tables continue to impress. John Tschirhart is widely considered the best billiard table manufacturer in Canada.
I had serviced a lot of pool tables, sold other people's tables, and I'd fix a lot of brand new tables because they, weren't quite right. And then I just thought, well, it'd be nice to build tables back the way the old manufacturers did.
There are very few Canadian billiard manufacturers left. Rick Williams knows. He's a collector of antique tables, and he's used Tschirhart to repair some of his treasures.
This table, it has an unusual design in that the legs are flared. They're often referred to as elephant legs. It has a beautiful ebony and mother-of-pearl inlay. At the time that I bought it, it wasn't worth a whole heck of a lot. When John got finished with it, it's worth certainly as much money as I've put into it, probably more. I think John probably is one of the finest table manufacturers in Canada. He does beautiful custom work. Any restoration work, as you can see, is exceptional.
John has his shop in the hamlet of Vienna in southwestern Ontario. There's not a lot of excitement in Vienna. John and his wife test out the tables after they're finished, and it's not unusual to see their children either hanging around Dad or staring at the proceedings through the shop window. No tree is safe from John. He keeps his treasures in his backyard.
So what we're doing here is we're just kind of designing how the rail and the skirts can look.
This is burled maple, not a usual wood for billiard tables. However, this is a concept.
An all-Canadian table, so we're looking at using Canadian maple. The diamonds in the table, we would use moose antler. The pockets will be moose hide.
A Tschirhart table will start at about $15,000, but every millimeter is handmade. Or in the case of these slate sheets that make up the playing surface, hand wrestled.
I spent actually several years, researching, trying to find out, well, what could I do? How do I go about fixing the slate without sending it, back to Italy? I believe as far as I know, I'm the only guy in North America that resurfaces the pool tables, and so that's the way it was done 100 years ago. And I'm able to take an old table and make it play better than new.
The felt comes in various weights and ranges in price from $500 right up to over $1,000. John gets it from the same company that makes the coats for the Queen's Guards. The coats are red, the pool tables are green. Before he installs the felt, he'll question you about your skill level and your style of play. Most people will be happy with a lighter weight, but for those wishing to replicate championship play, the felt is going to be mighty pricey. Although he obviously misspent his youth, he's certainly putting his time these days to good use. A Tschirhart table will take about 1,000 man-hours to make, but it will be one of a kind and simply the best. I'm Rob Davidson.